before we go into the sixth part, a little on the lighter side, okay? Uh, your Bollywood experience with Shashi Kapoor, and because everyone is connected somehow, just a little, and then we go to the sixth step after that, and how and what makes you say that the most gentlest and most softest person is Prem Chopra. So, and he has exactly opposite roles in his movie career.
Right. So you think the magnificently beautiful hero of all time, Shashi Kapoor, would be the one who is like that. No, life spoiled him a little bit too much. He was a nice guy. He was a sweet guy, not an angry guy. He was a sweet guy and certainly a beautiful guy. And very sophisticated and a very, very hard worker. And, a lovely guy. And I had the intention of meeting him because the day before I left for India, the very first time in 1972, I went to see Siddhartha, in which he plays Gautama Buddha. And if you haven't seen that movie, wow. Okay, that movie is certainly enough to understand the umbrella of different life experiences, or it was for me. And to go from being a prince, well, I said I grew up on Park Avenue, so I understood that, and then I was unhappy and I saw misery in life. Yeah, I understood that. And the movie was quite extraordinary. But of course, the takeaway was, I want to meet that movie star. Because I was only 22 years old at the time. That seemed the logical next step. So I actually had two experiences of running into him in India, opportunities in which I could meet him that I didn't take, but yet, because it was still on my mind, boom, I was dropping off a gift for friends at what is that hotel? The Sea something or other in Juhu, in Mumbai.
Sun and Sand, one is there, and one is Sea View.
It must be Sea View. Thank you. It's the one that's right over a rock, or maybe it's called Sea Rock.
Sea Rock, yes.
Sea Rock Hotel. Okay, that was the hotel. And so I'm dropping off the gift and I'm leaving for the airport, and I ring for the elevator and the elevator door opens. And I've met Indira Gandhi at a cocktail party, so I've met a lot of people. So it takes a lot for my mouth to hang open before I can shut it, before the flies come in. I was like, It was a miracle, because in 1972, I had said this was what I wanted. And I had two opportunities that I didn't take, and boom. But I was leaving for New York, so he gave me his contact information and I gave him mine. And I said, I travel to India all the time, but I didn't call. It just seemed a little, kind of obnoxious for me to call. Hi, I met you in the elevator. Will you offer me dinner or drink again? I was like, creepy. So I was going to Breach Candy Club with a friend, and I was sitting and staring straight ahead. The movie was going on, and I didn't even have to turn around. I heard the voice. Now, if you watch him in any film, don't look, turn around and listen to the voice. And I heard it, and my head swung around, and I thought, okay, Susan, God's message is clear. If you want something and you ask for something, and I give you two earlier opportunities to have something, for heaven's sakes, take the third opportunity, or I'm not going to think you're serious the next time you ask for something. Okay. So we became very, very dear friends. And years later, he actually co-starred in a movie called Heat and Dust that one of my closest friends produced. And Merchant Ivory created the film, and they had been my very first bosses. I designed costumes for a Merchant Ivory film right after I finished design school. So I had a fourth opportunity of running into him because he was at the party. So when you ask for something, and let's hope it's something a little bit more important to you than this, frivolous experience, you stay focused, as I do all the time, because, Manoj-ji, you and I were talking about manifestation, but I like to think of it as miracles.
Miracles, yeah.
I've seen huge amounts of money show up for me unexpectedly when I need it. Lots of money when you don't need it is not half as exciting as a smaller amount when you need it. I had a client who found something like $7,000 in an envelope on the ground when she was taking a walk, and there was nobody around. There were no houses, nobody to return it to. It was clearly a gift from God. I was with my mother when my father died. She was, mourning. It was very difficult. And we stepped out of the restaurant, and there was a huge gold bracelet on the curb, which was later appraised at $1,500. So I said, Mom, I know you're having a really tough time. Maybe this will cheer you up a little bit. It certainly did.
Yeah.
Not the value of it, not the beauty of it, the miracle of it.
The miracle, when you need it and it shows up. And you think of something and it shows up and you really think, oh, I want this, and it happens. Wow, and it's happened, I don't know, countless times in my life. And it's happened to many people who are in this forum also. So we are on the same alignment, and it's absolutely. But I will ask you some questions on that once after the break. A little bit on your dear sweetest guy, Prem Chopra. It's off the topic, but I'm just making a little light, and then we go into the 6 steps and all those things, and people will have something great out of this. Yeah.
So one of my close friends was my assistant in Mumbai, and she was very friendly with a lot of the Bollywood people. And so she became very friendly with Prem. And I said, I'd love to meet him. Oh, fantastic. He'd love to meet you too, because I talk about you all the time. Fantastic, fantastic. The favorite story, he wanted to buy her a handbag because she really needed a new handbag. I was living at the Taj most of my years in India, in Mumbai. She said, I'd love to go to that handbag shop. There's one just across from where the hotel is, India Gate. So he's a really famous star. I said, should I get a hotel car? He said, it's just right there. It's just bang opposite. No, we'll walk. I'm so nervous. I said, I wanted to say to him, could we get those big Sikh bodyguards at the front of the hotel to come with us? I'm tiny, and my friend Zenobia is tiny, and it's only one, guy. He may be big and strong. So we go into the handbag store. She's shopping as if nothing's going on. She's just shopping and having a good time. And Prem and I are chatting. We're having a lovely time. And then I turn around towards the glass window of the shop. There are 50,000 people filling the square. And every one of them is looking at him through the window. So I said, well, now maybe you'll allow me. I'll just call the hotel. And no need. So I said, okay, well, I'll walk on one side of you. So I'm going to protect somebody. And Zenobia will walk on the other side of you. And we'll, it's only 600 yards or something. It's very, very close. He said, Susan, we will be perfectly fine. Everything's fine. I promise. And he was happy. He was sweet. He was obviously concerned about me. He wasn't concerned about himself. And he was just the nicest, nicest, nicest man. And that's just one example.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, one example.
I just wanted to tell, I mean, why I asked you the story about these two people is, how we hold impressions. Like, we have seen Prem Chopra with every movie, he's the rapist, 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 rapist. So that, even a layman, as a child, like I was 8, 10 years, and we would see all these movies. I was also from a little semi-Bollywood family. My father had distributed a few movies. So we'll get this impression. I always give this example that you see Sanjay Dutt in one of those movies, and he's a violent person, and you say, "Hey, he should be killed," in the movie, of course. And then you see him in the next Munabai, and you say he's such a lovely person. How our perception changes when we see movies. What about when we see real people? I mean, we meet one person, and then we set one impression, he's like this, and we hold on to the impression. We don't. I know someone who holds on to the impression. I said he was like that. No, he's not like now. No, no, he was. No, he is like this. He is. She is like this. She will never change. He will never. I said, what change? The change is happening every moment. If you see the change, that's where the whole miracle starts happening.